This is Dabu7. A heads up for anyone that is thinking of going to New York, through New York, into NYC, over any of their bridges, through any of their tunnels. They now have a mandatory lockdown of 14 days for anyone coming through, and you have to fill out a questionnaire form once you hit one of these checkpoints. These checkpoints, man, are the beginning of the end when it comes to being able to free flow in and out of the city, going to and from, and I can only imagine it's going to begin in the hot spots, Holland Tunnel, other popular bridges, Brooklyn Bridge, things like that, getting into the city, and then it will expand out. They're saying that when people come through, they have to give an address of where they're going unless their end destination is not in New York. They also have to fill out 8 questions on this questionnaire. And the sheriffs are going to be doing this. There's going to be sheriffs posted up. They say if they cannot reach you by phone, people are told to expect home visits. It remains unclear how law enforcement will ensure that people's information is correct. So this starts tomorrow morning, Thursday, August 6th. Every 6th to 8th car will be randomly selected. So it begins. Follow me on DLive where I break this down further. Links.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, all the praise, honor, and glory goes into YAHAWAH'S. Also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to all you fellow laborers that are kicking this word in sincerity and in faith. The YAHAWAH'S, Kayaha Rakakwadash for the Holy Spirit, which is resting upon me to do this lesson. So as you can see over there in New York, you're trying to go into NYC, you're going to get harassed. Now, I fact checked this, before I did the video, because, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of misinformation, but you can see this is all over the local news in New York. So let me go ahead and read a little bit more on it. Okay, so second is the 15th chapter. Hey, this is it right here. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, which I got that. And I got some other precepts pulled up. So de Blasio announces, no thanks, coronavirus quarantine checkpoints at major entry points into NYC. Well, and as the guy was saying, there's going to be a mandatory 14-day coronavirus quarantine rule for those arriving from COVID-19 hotspots, which that's going to discourage people from coming in, because what if they just want to come in for a day or two? You got to stay there for 14 days. That's crazy. Visitors will be reminded that it is required, not optional. This is serious stuff. If we're going to hold at this level, the quarantine is going to have to be enforced. The NYC sheriffs, deputies, and other officials said they would deploy to Penn Station, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's the main train station, airports, bridges, tunnels, and on major roadways to quiz travelers about their plans and register with authorities. I thought this was America. You have free flow. See, America ain't what it used to be. Currently, there are 34 states in the U.S. and Puerto Rico where COVID-19 rates are too high or rising, according to state metrics, de Blasio said. The restriction of states is based upon a 7-day rolling average of positive coronavirus tests in excess of 10%, or a number of positive cases exceeding 10 per 100,000 residents. The national outbreak is not encouraging, to say the least. We need to do what we've been doing and do it consistently. So, hey, man, this is happening in New York, and this is the model which is going to be applied all these different places. Hey, which when I think of this, I think of the famine of the word, because who's in New York? Who preaches in New York? The elders. So the elders of Great Millstone and all these different groups, the truth came out of, like the elders and apostles say, the truth came out of One West. So we're in some serious times. Isaiah 10:1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right, so they have people prescribe it. They have these different doctors, these different analysts that say, hey, look, this is going to slow the spread of COVID-19. And then they form it into law. Now, and this is all prophecy. 2 Ezra 15 and 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And there you go right there. You want to go into New York and you're not able to go into New York because you can't be quarantined in New York for 14 days. You may be somebody who goes into work. You know, a lot of people, they go in there to participate in the gig economy because that's a big city, whether you're in mainly Manhattan, right? But also, yeah, Brooklyn, the Bronx, all those different boroughs. So you may be coming from New Jersey. You may be coming from somewhere in Pennsylvania trying to go to New York, and you're in Connecticut, right? Because when I was there back in 2014, I traveled up to Connecticut from New York, and it really wasn't that far. And you have a lot of people that make that commute. So now you're trying to go in there. You say you got Connecticut tags. You live in Connecticut, but you frequent New York. Well, you can't go down there no more unless you're going to be quarantined for 14 days. Crazy stuff. So a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's right, because I know not all of those brothers live in New York that go to the camp in New York. So this is some serious stuff. And that's really through the spirit why it's starting in New York. Everything is centered around this word. So what is this? This is restrictions on preaching the word. And this is going to sweep all of America, this unrighteous decree. This is Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law, right? And that's what Esau does. He frames mischief by a law. This is all the working of the damn devil. Right along with these masks, right? Houston to fine people for not wearing a mask in public, $250. That's a citation. That's a lot of money. And it's not just there. Got in Chicago. Let me X out of this. Excuse me. Pritzker, which, if I'm not mistaken, he's the governor, right? On Monday, he said that he believes it's worthy of considering fines for people who do not comply with the state's mandate requiring masks in public to slow the spread of the deadly coronavirus. So this is another unrighteous decree. And out here in California, specifically in Southern California, certain of these cities in like North LA, man, you getting hit with some hefty fines. If for some reason you're not motivated by science or basic human compassion for others, there's another reason you should wear a mask or face covering in California. It's the law. Governor Gavin Newsom issued a statewide mask mandate requiring pretty much everyone to wear a face covering when outside your home and near other people. You see that? So Beverly Hills, you get a $100 fine for the first offense, $200 for second, and $500 for the third. Calabasas, $100. Contra Costa County is $100 for the first, $200 for the second, and $500 for the third. Which Contra Costa County, that's Richmond, Pittsburgh, Antioch. For a business, $250 for a business's first violation, $500 for a second, and $1,000 for a third. Fremont's $100, which that's in Alameda County. Yeah, Glendale, this is the one that I saw on the local news in LA. $400 for the first fine, $1,000 for the second fine, and $2,000 for the third. So that's a lot, man. Manhattan Beach, Irvine, $500 per day. Marin County, businesses between $250 and $10,000. And they're going to start pushing the issue more and more. San Mateo County. And you can just go ahead and take a look. Hey, so these are some serious times, man. And Esau, he's coming with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. Right? So that's all I want to bring out. All praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH'S. Till next time, shalom.